That's not the intro, by the way. But this
No.
is. Got you there, didn't I?
He did.
Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another instalment of Rate the Transfer Rumour Show. And these shows are coming out thick and fast. There's a lot going on at the moment. Darren Markey, who was on the show and linked with Derry City, has left Drogheda United. It looks like he's going to Derry City. Maybe by the time this video is out, he'll be actually officially signed. But yeah, Rate the Transfer Rumour Show is the show that rates transfers. Daz is going to rate all the rumours I throw at him between 1 and 10. Again, it's a list of 5 players. Daz hasn't a clue who's in this list, which is always, I think, an
I never
interesting
know. I
factor, isn't it,
never know.
Daz?
Yes, it is, because
Yeah.
element of surprise. I never know who you're going to throw at me. The ones I like the most are the players I've never heard of. They're the best ones.
Yeah, like Roger Daltrey.
Oh, go away.
Who?
Yeah, who? Great player.
We'll get into it. And I'd say just in the last few hours of recording this video, he's left the club. Keith Buckley has left Bowes after... How many years is he at the club, actually? 11? Is it 10 or 11?
It's a long time anyway. He obviously had 2
Jesus.
spells away from the club that everyone knows about.
That's
One
true as
Australia,
well. He,
one
different,
with Bray.
like, he must have spent
But
about 10, 11 years at
he,
the club or something like that. But
he's
I'll have to
had
check that
nearly
up.
400 appearances for Bowes. It's
Yeah,
quite a lot. Quite a
yeah.
lot for any player to have at any club. So
Yeah,
devastating
club
he's gone,
captain
but
anyway,
he's
but we're linking him here to actually a club that are just after getting promotion. They're after a couple of midfielders. Dundalk FC potentially,
Ooh.
Daz. How would you possibly see that one?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think firstly, gonna miss Bucko, one of my favourites. He's one of the OGs. He's been there since I started supporting Bulls many years ago. He's someone that anyone that's kind of my
Oh, he's
age
only
kind of
there 3 years, is he?
grew up. Okay, now he's there like a long time, and he's seen Bulls move through all the transitional periods they've been in, and it's unfortunate Bulls couldn't win a cup or something while he was at the club, and he's been a fantastic servant for the club, and I think we're all going to miss him very much. And that injury, he was tough on him, but I think no matter where he goes, he'll do well. In terms of Dundalk, a very interesting one. I think firstly Dundalk need to shop very smartly in this window. They certainly need to recruit someone with experience. Bucko kind of ticks them boxes. Hard to know with Dundalk though. Yeah, it's a good one. I actually had somebody else in my head. I was thinking maybe first division, but or perhaps Drogheda, but maybe not. But Dundalk, yeah, that's a good one. You wouldn't really have to move from Dublin. He's obviously settled where he is. He's not going to move from where he is now. So it was always going to be a Dublin club or someone
Or
who's in a
potentially
commutable
Bray
distance.
Wanderers.
Bray might be a good one as well. Yeah, I I think,
Hey, down the
well,
fall,
like,
of course.
if yeah, he did, yeah. And obviously Bray, I think they're full time, and they've obviously have quite a good team in the first division. He would bring a lot of experience there. But in terms of Dundalk specifically, um. I think he'd be a good addition to them. As I said, they need to shop smartly in the window. Brings experience, brings know-how, leadership qualities. He's definitely going to play there way more than probably if he went somewhere else in the Premier Division. Realistically, he probably will. He's obviously 33, I think now. He's come towards the end of his career. He's slowed down from the player he once was 2 or 3 years ago. Obviously, the injury didn't do him well. With Dundalk, because it's in the Premier Division and because they're near Dublin, I think I'd put it reasonably high. He certainly wants to continue playing.
Mm.
I know that from what he's put out there, and he's on the PFA list too, so he hasn't actually retired. He hasn't, as of right now, been offered a non-playing role with Bows because I think he still wants to continue playing. So he's going to go to another team. Um, Dundalk would be a good one. Even for a season, 1 year deal, I think it works for everybody. I think that'd be a great one for him. And I don't know if Dundalk are going to be full time or part time next season.
He'll be full
Maybe
time.
full. They'll be full time, yeah. But yeah, I think it fits Dundalk. I'm going to put it as a 7 out of 10. I think they're going to be getting a really hard working, honest player. And if you're a Bows fan, you'd be sad to see him go. But hopefully he gets in there and does well for them. But best of luck to Bucko, and yeah, I think Dundalk be reasonably good for him, and for Dundalk 7 out of 10.
Yeah, keep Buckley to Dundalk, 7 out of 10, says Daz. Next one up is Conan Noonan, the St Patrick's Athletic. Now, Conan was on loan to Waterford this year from Shamrock Rovers. He's a year left in his deal, which is crucial here, by the way. I thought he
Yeah,
was really good for Waterford. Really good energy on and off the ball. Quite a few assists and goals. I thought he really stood up for them in that game against Bray, and knowing he was going to be leaving the club as well, you could argue a player may not have 100%, let's say, care in their
yeah,
performance,
yeah.
but he certainly did. Um, Pat's definitely interested. The issue I would see personally with this one is the fact that he's 22 years of age. Rovers are looking to integrate a few younger players in. I think he's good enough to fight for a spot at Rovers. But not only that, a year left in his deal, I find it personally hard to see Shamrock Rovers selling Conan with a year left in his deal to
Yeah.
St Patrick's Athletic. But there is interest there. Well, how do you see that one?
Yeah, I personally don't think there's any interest. I don't think that's going to happen at all. He's had a good season at Waterford. He's played a lot of minutes. He's been in a relegation battle. That's a lot of experience for a young player. He had a good partnership with Padre Gammon as well. I think they played quite well together when they were playing, and he would have learned a lot off him as well.
Mm.
22, he's at a good age to be a squad player at Rovers if he's happy with that. Obviously, League and Cup winners. Obviously playing in Europe under Stephen Bradley. A lot of really good players there. Would he want to give that up to go to Pats who are not in Europe? I don't think so. I think he might stay for the season with Rovers if they're going to keep him, if they're happy to have him. I think he will try and fight for his place in the team. Obviously, Rory Gaffney is like a fine wine. He wasn't really inside much at all the previous season, and this season he's been brilliant for them. I think he's been really good every time he played, and he obviously won the cup for them himself nearly. He is 35, turning 36. I think he's 34, 35, one of majors.
Or six, I think. But yeah.
So they will be needing legs up front, I think. I think especially with all the matches that they're going to have, the European matches, they need the squads. They need to keep their squads for rotation.
Not only that,
I
Daz, I think he suits as well the way they try play. They generally sometimes they play 110, sometimes they play with two tens, where be it Burke and Mandreo and that. The other factor to this is Mandreo. How long is he out for? So
yeah, yeah,
Nunan would fit into those roles very well, in my opinion, for Shamrock
yeah.
Rovers. And the other thing I would say, even though he was on loan, the way Waterford struggled this season, he's going to be a big blow to Waterford as well. You
Oh
know,
yeah, oh for sure. Like Waterford will be trying to keep him, no doubt about that. Especially after having stayed up in the Premier Division, like, they're going to want to keep him. But I think
mm.
he's going to want to go back to Rovers and fight and get some silverware and play with the best players in the league. Especially with Pats having they have other players at the team. Obviously, Amelia's gone, but they still have the likes of Aidan Keena there and a few other players there too. Like I just don't see it happening.
I think he walks in the Pats team, by the way, just to
Oh,
throw
he
it
does.
out there.
I actually
I think
think
he
he gets
does.
into near. He probably gets into 5 of the 10
Mm.
teams. I
He
think
gets,
really,
for me, he gets
maybe
the
a bit
number
more.
10 position at Pats all day, every day.
Yeah, yeah,
It's his energy off the ball as well
he's
as
quite good.
the quality on the ball, you know?
Yeah, he's quite a good player.
Mm.
I see nothing in it. Obviously, there'd be fear something above too. What I do see more likely is maybe a possible loan move, but in terms of an actual transfer, no. I'm going to put it very low. I'm going to put it 1 out of 10. I don't think it's happening.
Very rare we see a 1 out of 10, but that says 1 out of 10 Conan Noonan to St. Patrick's Athletic. Next up, we've got double Derry, if you like, but we'll start off
Double
with
Derry.
double Derry. Yeah, we'll start off with this one, and it's I'll leave the more interesting one till second, actually. But the first one up, Josh Daniels, who's basically a wing back who plays for the New Saints in Wales. A year left in his deal from Derry, by the way. Did play
All
for
right.
Derry, I think, for about 3 or 4 seasons around 2017. But Derry seem to be in the market for wing backs. I'll throw in the fact that Ronan Boyce still hasn't signed a new deal at the club, who's played right wing back. Not only that, at times they played Adam O'Reilly there as well, who's a central midfielder. That might tell you they're looking for a different profile of player and someone maybe who's more natural to a wing back slot. Again, as I said, he's from Derry. They do tend to try and get in players if they can from Derry as well. But he does have a year left in his deal at TNS, so then again, TNS would probably accept a half decent deal, wouldn't they, from a club like Derry City? Let's be honest. But how would you see that one?
Yes, very interesting one actually. well spotted with him being from Derry. Wasn't aware of that. Well, probably wouldn't have known that unless you said it. Did you say he played in 2017 with Derry?
In and around that, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's hard to believe that that's just off 10 years ago, isn't it? Like
I think
that's
he's 29, but I'll check that up.
right. Yeah, yeah. I can't remember him with Derry, but yeah, I suppose Derry fans do like having a few of their players local. They like having Derry born men in the team, and who doesn't want to have local players playing for your local team? Like who doesn't want to have that? It's obviously great to have, and like you said, look, it's no shadow of a doubt they are in the market for that position. I know only a position a few. Derry have went abroad last season and recruited quite a number of players. They have money there. Obviously they're in European competition. They've had a really good um second half of the season. They really got themselves together and they've been playing really well. But like you said, stopping players in who are not in that position, they needed someone. There probably will be a fee involved, and I don't know a whole lot about Welsh football at all. Like very little. I couldn't tell you a player in that league, bar this
Josh
one now that we're
Daniels.
talking about. But yeah, but like I couldn't tell you TNS player. I couldn't tell you the top scorer or nothing about the Welsh league. In terms of quality, I think I'd put the Welsh Premier League lower, or a mix of Division One of Ireland. It's very hard to pin it.
I would
It's
say so.
very
If
hard
you're
to pin it.
judging European results, you'd probably have to say so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's very hard to pin it, and you never really hear of a player who came from the Welsh league and then went on to the Championship or League One. You just don't really hear of it. So I think for them reasons, it kind of puts the transfer rating a bit lower because I think Derry will be looking for maybe someone potentially a bit better, potentially playing for at a higher level. So I actually think it's quite hard to give it a decent number because of that. I think they will be going in for someone who be playing at a better level, who's probably known a bit better. Um, I think for them reasons, I'm going to put it as a 5 out of 10. I think
Right.
Derry will go for someone that they know a bit better that's playing at a higher level. Because at the end of the day, they're in Europe. They're going to be fighting the top end of the table. They're going to be hopefully trying to fight for knock Shamrock Rovers off off the title holders. They need the best players available. And is someone from the Welsh League the best player available? Maybe not. So I think I'll put a 5 out of 10 for that. But no, who knows? He could surprise us, come in and be the best fullback in the league.
Yeah, he left Derry in 2017. He was there for 3 years from 2014, made 50 odd appearances in the league for them. He was
Nice. Yeah.
29 as well. But yeah, interesting stuff there. On to the next Derry City rumour, and this is a player that was the Sligo Rovers a number of seasons ago, Max Mata. He between 2002 2023, he scored
Max,
18 goals and 50 appearances. Moved on to Shrewsbury, signed a 3 year deal. Struggled there, came back to Sligo Rovers on loan, where he scored 4 goals, but didn't quite perform the way he did previously. He has had injuries in the last number of years as well. Moved to Auckland FC on loan. He's actually now available on a free transfer, so he's no ties. He's available. Has suffered from a few injuries in the last few years. 14 caps for New Zealand, 2 goals. Derry City, from their point of view, Depot has left the club, so he's gone. There's a striker down. Liam Boyce picked up a bad injury about 10 games to go in the season. I think he may not be fit enough for the start of the season, or he might come into pre-season late. So you can clearly see they need a striker. Is Max Mata the man?
Yeah, that's quite an interesting one. I really wasn't expecting that one at all. Obviously we all know Mata in the league. Sligo love signing a foreign player. That they love bringing in someone that we don't know about, and like I love seeing it as well. Who doesn't love seeing a foreign player go into the league? That does
Decent
well
record
now.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he does have a good record, and he's an international player too. I love that in the league. I think that's great. In terms of who doesn't want a striker in the league? Everyone wants a striker. I think firstly, in terms of Mata, he's tried in the league. You know he can perform at this level. You know he'll get you goals this level. He's experienced in the league. He's at a good age. He has a bit more experience, having played obviously abroad in different leagues now as well. So you'd be kind of hoping he's coming home a better rounded player and a better rounded person, and hopefully could kick on a bit more in the league if he was to come home. I think in terms of him playing for Derry versus when he was on Sligo, it would be a lot different. Obviously, Sligo play very different to Derry in terms of the player personnel they had. The supply that he'll have at Derry should be a lot better.
More
Um,
money, maybe, and
more
he
more
might feel like
money.
better chance of being
Yeah,
successful.
That's it. Like, and I do think if he's going to go to Derry, he would have to think he's not going to play every game because obviously, if them boys can get back fit, and Derry probably will bring somebody else in too, he probably will have to play on the bench, start some weeks, and off the bench. Whereas if he was on another team in the league, he probably could be nailed on every week to start and play. I actually think they'd be quite a good shout for other teams in the league to come in for him and get him and guarantee him that playing position. So I actually think based on that reason, I think I'd put it a 6 out of 10 because I think he would want to play. I think he's the type of player that wants to play. And I think if other teams were to come in for him and guarantee him that playing spot, I think he might go to them. But then again, Derry, like I said, challenging for the league, challenging in Europe, a great squad. Obviously Derry it's a great place to live too if you're coming back, if you want to live somewhere in Ireland. Yeah, look, I could see it happening for sure, and they have money, and they could definitely offer him a very handsome wage. Definitely could, more so than a lot of other teams in the league probably could offer him. But I do think he'd want to play, and I do think other teams would be in for him, especially with the injury that he's had. Does Derry really want to be signing someone else who could possibly pick up another injury and have two or three strikers injured to start a season? There's a lot to think about there. But 6 out of 10. I think if he comes back, he goes to a different team. But it's probable. I think he will be offered a contract, and I think he would do reasonably well there if he wants to go there.
So Max Mata to Derry City, 6 out of 10. And the final one is an interesting one. It's young Michael Noonan, who's of course the Shamrock Rovers, very very good prospect. Currently playing the Under 17 World Cup, performing well. Ireland have won all their games, by the way, and play Canada in the knockout stages.
Yeah.
But would you believe there's scouts there? Well, the scouts there obviously from a lot of clubs are going to be watching it, but apparently he's caught the eye of the Manchester United scouts. Daz, how would you
Yes.
see that one?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I actually just seen that pop up my feed earlier when I was looking at it, and I've seen all Under 17 games so far, and he has been playing so good. And I suppose that particular group of Under 17s are amazing. They're all so good. If anyone's not watching them games, get watching them. There's some really top players there, really, really top players. They're really, really good football being played. And he's been really good with the Ireland squad and the fight, the drive, determination that he has, the work rate he has. You really wouldn't think he's the age he is by looking at him in terms of his football and mentality, how he thinks, his intelligence
The
on the
fact that he's
pitch.
been playing,
Really good.
obviously senior football with Shamrock Rovers and games in Europe and
Yeah,
that, you would think, like, honestly, at his own age group, he's really going to thrive, that kind of way.
yeah, definitely. And thriving he is, especially like you said, like you pointed out there, he's doing it with the men. He's mixing it up with the first team, and he's been playing. Like, he's played games against Bows and all like big rivals, and he's held his own. Like he's
He
been
actually scored, in
really good.
fairness, in the
Yeah,
3-2
he's
win at Ticketall Stadium. That goal that he
yeah, I think
scored was a bloody brilliant goal, wasn't it? In fairness, like,
he's he's definitely a prospect, and I would go as far as to say I think he's a prospect for a future Ireland cap. I think he's that good, and I think he
yeah.
will go all the way to play for the country. And I certainly hope he does. He's a smashing young talent. In
Mm.
terms of Man United, I think that's brilliant. What a compliment to him that scouts are watching him, and obviously he's quite young. If he goes to Man United, he still has to wait, I think, 2 years before he could actually
Mm.
move over. Like we all know that with Amelia, he can't go till January, and the
Victor as
deal was
well, who went
done.
to Arsenal. So like
Yeah,
the big clubs are watching some of these players. Like
yeah,
Emilia's
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
gone to Spurs.
And
Victor's gone to Arsenal for about 2 million, the
mm,
two of them.
yeah,
And
he went for a
Nunan
huge
now being
fee.
watched by the likes of Manchester United, and there was
And
Man City
do you know
links
what?
a while back.
Yeah, yeah, and do you know what? I actually wouldn't just put it at Man United. I'd say every Premier League team, every Championship team is tracking them. All of them are, I'd
100%.
say.
I
And
imagine all the big clubs in England are tracking them.
yeah,
It's a question of
and
which are more
yeah, yeah,
involved.
yeah, and I think now as well, which is good for Rovers, the fact now that the league can show players have been produced, they've performed, and that they've went for quite a high transfer fee versus what they would have went for 10 years ago, puts a high valuation on him. And I think now if a team wants to go and get a player in the league, we're now in the position that we've always wanted to be in where you can command a respectable fee with a good sell-on fee. Obviously, Bo's got big money for certain players that moved on, but add-on fees and different things in their contracts. That's important too. In terms of Man United, yeah, I could definitely see it happening. I don't know who he actually supports, if he supports a UK club or not.
Hmm.
But if he does, he could obviously support any of the big ones. And as I said, I think they're all in for him, and it's completely up to him where he's going to go to. If I was him, I probably wouldn't go there because it's very hard to break in. But then again, can you turn down Man United? Can you turn down the Premier League? Can you turn down what they could offer? It's huge.
And most of these young
And
players, probably like I'd expect, say Amelia to go out on loan eventually,
yeah,
that
that's
kind of
it.
like
Like,
stuff.
yeah,
So Noonan were probably the same if he went to a club like that. Same with
yeah.
Victor as well. So yeah,
I'm going to put put it quite high. In terms of Man United, I'm going to put it an 8 out of 10. Um, I think they've been watching him for quite a while, not just over the World Cup, but I think before that when they've seen him way hold on at 15, 16 years old, starting at senior level and starting games in European competition, competitive games, massive and holding his own. He doesn't look out of place, never really does. That's massive, and that's obviously a standout talent. Like I said, I think every club's watching him. It's quite high. He will go in general, let alone Man United, but 8 out of 10, and I think it'd be yeah, 8 out of 10. I think he'll go there. Yeah, and he's
brilliant.
being watched. Yeah,
Yeah, brilliant. So Daz says Michael Noonan to Manchester United, 8 out of 10. For you at home, let us know if you're a Derry City fan, a Pats fan, Shamrock Rovers fan, a Man United fan, a Dundalk fan. Who else have we got? Two Derry in there, haven't we, as well? So let us know what you think in the comments. Give us a rating between 1 and 10. Please subscribe. Brilliant stuff, Daz, as usual. Fair play to you. Thank you very much.
cheers, Key.